Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Maestrallet. There's a lot of talk about finance in climate change, but actually, what concretely do you want to see happen when it comes to initiatives today and tomorrow? And is this because, the U.S. has decided to move away from the agreement? Does it mean that the private world needs to double down on it?
Yes, that's true. In fact, the challenges for the finance is huge after the position of the United States. But you remember 2 years ago when we launched the first Climate Finance Day, it was a tremendous success with a large number of bankers, insurance, asset managers, but also investors, U.S. investors. BlackRock, Fidelity announced that they wanted to decarbonize their portfolio, stop financing coal mining, coal power generation, and increase the finance to the green economy, to the energy transition, to photovoltaic, to wind power generation. And that is exactly what we are looking for today and tomorrow, because it's a huge week dedicated to climate in Paris, with tomorrow the One Planet Summit.
Is it possible, or is it completely out of the realm of reality, that President Trump comes back to sign the agreement? And would that make a difference to the initiatives that you were just talking about?
Of course, that would be better. Nevertheless, what we are observing is the fact that even in the U.S., some states, and not only California, large number of cities, large number of corporations, are continuing to fight against climate change and to commit themselves to take commitments in order to shift from the old energy world to the new energy world. And when we see, for example, the green bond development, the bonds to finance energy transition, we can be optimistic. Nevertheless, the challenge is huge because we need between 5 and 7 trillions a year between now and 2030 in order to reach the Paris Agreement goals. And we know that we are not there. So we need additional commitments. And normally they would be taken next year during the COP24. But nevertheless, in the meantime, the finance has changed its mindset. That's very important. 3 years ago, before COP21, the finance was not convinced by the necessity to fight against climate change. Some individual leaders had decided, because it was their own conviction, they were fighting for the planet or for their children. Now they have realized that it is a financial risk, and they have to do that in the best interest of their own company.
Sir, talk to me a little bit about nuclear, right? In Belgium, Engie operates 7 nuclear plants, and the law says that the reactors need to be halted by 2025. What can Belgium replace this energy with?
That's a question to be asked to the Belgian government, of course. In Belgium, we are investing as Engie. We are not a monopoly. There is a competition, but we are investing in green power generation, in solar, in wind, in geothermal, and onshore wind, offshore wind, and so that will be the task of the government if they confirm that in 2025 the nuclear will stop. By what? It will be replaced. But normally it will be a combination of gas-fired power generation, which is flexible, and renewables energy, which is intermittent. And they need the complementarity of both.
When you look at the financing, so you mentioned some of the green bonds, where do you think the next big thing is? Is there something that actually you will see a lot more appetite from private investors to be invested in?
Green bonds, yes. Yes, I consider that the green bonds is one of the right tools to finance the energy transition. And as you probably know, France has taken a lead in the green finance. And so we are very pleased today that the third Climate Finance Day will take place in Paris. We've decided, by the way, that every year there will be a Climate Finance Day in Paris. we have created a brand, Finance for Tomorrow, and a structured program in order to accelerate, notably, the green bonds.
But how can you make sure this is not only happy talk, right? That it's not a good marketing tool for companies to come on? Do you need to make sure and actually force companies to, for example, divulge some of their financial, operations when it comes to climate change?
Well, more and more investors are also asking for non-financial disclosures and eventually ratings, ESG ratings, environmental, social and governance ratings. And I personally support this evolution, which is in order to check and to be checked by a third party what is going on and what a company is doing in terms of greening its activity.
Mr. Maestrallet, I also need to ask you, of course, as chairman of Paris Europlace, how the Brexit negotiations are going in your mind. You're trying to lobby to get jobs out of London into Paris. How's it going?
Yes, it's going well. Yeah. It's going well. We have had lots of individual decisions and more recent of banks, HSBC transferring 1,000 people to Paris, and others, the French banks also another 1,000. But a critical decision has been the decision of the European Banking Authority to be transferred from London to Paris. With ESMA, that means that two European regulatory agencies will be located in Paris, and with the European Central Bank in Frankfurt, that makes a balance.
But there's a crucial EU summit this Thursday and Friday. Do you believe that there will be a proper deal on the table?
I hope so. Of course, I cannot anticipate what will be decided. But there is a good momentum for Europe, and I would like to say that in Paris we always have had a very positive relationship with London. Paris Europlace and the City of London have established a long time ago a cooperation agreement which has been reinforced even after the Brexit. So our approach vis-à-vis London is that we propose a partnership agreement. If some of them, because of the agreements, because of the elimination of the financial passport, have to cross the channel, we say, come here, we will welcome you and find the best solution for you in Paris.